Mary Catherine Ham, editor-at-large for HotAir.com and a Fox News contributor. You were there. You were asking some of those tough questions on Saturday night. How did it feel inside the hall, and how do you think the voters in New Hampshire will feel about it?
Well, Governor Christie certainly had the room going. He was leaning on his podium. He was enjoying himself, and they received it well, and were really critical in the room of Rubio repeating himself because it was quite obvious. The one thing I wonder is whether the media coverage of the Rubio misstep is more of a national issue than it is to New Hampshire voters who have seen him on the stump and who have seen him be more nimble than that and perhaps will grade on that curve.
So you are thinking that the New Hampshire voters will be easier on him?
Might be a tad easier on just because they have more experience with him than just that moment. And but that's how politics works. People remember that moment, and you have to come back from it. So he'll be working hard on that on the trail there and South Carolina.
I know, it's so fascinating because even if he gave 10 other, stupendous answers, that's what you walk away with when there's a negative. But let me ask you this. Could it backfire on Christie because he really pressed him? Could that affect voters, I don't know, positively or negatively?
Right. I think it always matters what your tone is and how tough you are on your competitors. He did get a little mean at times. Christie has a reputation for doing that occasionally. He has that bully thing to contend with. Look, I thought it was all within bounds, but I do think you have to worry about voters. I think what he did is probably hurt Rubio, but helped perhaps Jeb and Governor Kasich a bit more than he helped himself.
Why?
It remains to be seen in the voting.
Well, why? Why do you say that?
Because he was very rough on him, and I think sometimes voters can see that and go, oh, it seemed a little mean.
Right.
And that can just make a difference.
It's interesting because I just showed him getting down on one knee, to ask for a vote. So his personality is multifaceted.
No, he has that softer side for sure.
Yeah. We just saw it. He got 2 more votes. Let's take a look at what happened before anyone even spoke at the debate. There was sort of this awkward walk-on situation as we're watching here now. Christie comes in, and then Ben Carson is supposed to be next, and I guess you can tell me because you were out there. His name was called, but there was so much applause he didn't hear it, so he stands there for forever.
Yes. Well, first of all, this is my diabolical plan to make sure that we go as viral as possible, and it worked. But no, actually, it was very loud in there, and it didn't play quite as much on TV how loud it was as it was for us. And so I do not blame Dr. Carson for not having heard his name. I heard it and knew exactly what was going on back there, and that's how it went down. And once they started piling up, there it was.
And so Donald Trump then stands with Dr. Carson because I don't think he heard his name either. And then you see the other candidates just sort of walk past them. They must have wondered, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, they're like, I've got a podium and I'm getting to it.
And eventually they do come out. Did they actually call them back out again?
No, they all eventually settled, got everybody out there, and it was smooth sailing from there.
All right. Mary Catherine, great job. So glad you could be part of it. Honored to see another strong woman up there. Thanks, Mary Catherine.
Appreciate it.